so fine. Loving the cold, smoking rolls, see your fingers shake, and getting through your heartbreak. Some kind of free, same for me, don't know what I need. Don't doubt me, babe, you make me wanna change. Break my bed to make me wanna stay. I can't vibe me, babe, you make me love the pain. Break my bed to make me wanna stay. I can't. When you say it like that, got me falling right back, when you say it like that, let me fuck you right back, got me falling right back.
This is so weird. I've never like put my face on a camera, like done like a video log kind of thing like this, so it's weird to me. I don't know. It's fun. So for my video project, I would like to focus on the pretentiousness and the idea that you have to put on this sort of image that isn't exactly yourself to be in a fraternity. So I'm currently pledging at the Beta Theta Pi fraternity. It's a top fraternity at University of Washington. And we hold ourselves to a very high standard. There's a lot of people that like will be dropped from the fraternity. It's just what happens. Like, and I won't make it through pledge quarter. So why I'm doing this idea is because there's a stereotype that comes from videos on Total Frat Move that are like, oh, like this dude can chug his beer in 0.2 seconds, like, and it's something, it's weird, like it's, people think that they have to live up to that kind of standard when they really don't. So, for me personally, I don't try to live up to that standard. I try to be myself, do exactly what I think is right. So, I don't know, I try to be myself, not be that pretentious asshole. But I'm gonna give you guys some examples of some people, some situations where people tend to be assholes and where people tend to be this kind of person that they're not exactly, like who they actually aren't. So with videos like College Weekly, they show a lot of big fraternities and they do house tours of them and they show their houses and they show a lot of the guys in the houses, and they usually put up this front that they're these big, jockey, like stocky frat guys, and that they drink all the time, they get tons of women, and what their entire idea is to get drunk, hook up with girls, and get a college education. But it's weird because it's not exactly what this fraternity is about. We have a basketball court, so we always have a lot of guys that are big and they work out and whatever. But there's no one here that really is the stereotypical frat guy. And I'll show you some pictures of some stereotypical frat guys, some frat videos, some everything, but it's not really what our entire fraternity is about. We have a lot of history. We're very like driven. We have a lot of very driven people. There's some guys looking to go into the computer science majors. There's some guys looking to go into the business school. Like, we're very serious about what we want to do with our lives, and it's weird, I guess, to think that like all these people are very like into what they do. So for me personally, I want to go to the business school. I want to get into Foster. I'm not a direct admit, which they said they're removing. It's kind of what happens every year. But it's a place that I'd love to be in, and it's where I want to start my career. I didn't join a fraternity to get a lot of girls. I didn't join a fraternity to go to parties. I joined a fraternity because I had friend groups in high school and I wanted a secure base for that. Like, I didn't feel like I needed to live up to this standard. Obviously, when I got here though, I can tell you a couple stories about that. When I got here, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was very confused, and I'll tell you a story about what happened when I rushed Beta Theta Pi. So, we're going to start on the story of how I rushed beta and what I did to change myself that I felt like I needed to do, which is a weird thing to me to think that I had to change myself to try to get into a fraternity. But when I first rushed here, the first day I was really, really nervous. I was like scared, excuse my French, scared shitless of everything that happened here. And I was like, I don't think I'm honestly set out to be a fraternity guy. But as time went on, it got easier and I got better about it. But it was really hard. It was really weird. The first night they took me to lunch and then I kind of just chilled and I think they were trying to feel the land, see like what I did like drinking wise and everything, and I did a lot of it in high school. So, but I kind of put up a front that I don't usually have. Usually I'm very like fun, like very like happy, like cool, like very like out there, and like I kind of just say whatever I'm thinking. But with them, I feel like I was kind of like trying to respond to everything they said, try to relate their conversation, and like I don't know, it was like kind of weird to me because like I was just trying to relate. I wasn't trying to be myself. So I put off this front that I loved sports. I put up this, which I don't follow sports very much. I've never played fantasy football. I've never done any of that. They were watching football and I acted like I liked football just because I thought that all frat guys were into sports, so I assumed that I needed to be into sports. Then when it came to drinking and stuff, they drank a lot, so I drank a lot because I wanted to keep up with them. One of the nights it didn't do me too well. I had a rough morning. I didn't do anything bad, but like I had a rough morning. Like it happens to the best of us. But it was hard. It's really weird because like I felt like I had to be them. Like I felt like I had to be as cool as them. Like get the girls they get. Like be those people. But I didn't have to be. And after a while, I talked a little more to a lot of people, and I realized that like a lot of these guys are a lot like me. Like they're a lot like who I am, and they're a lot like who I want to be. And they're very driven, and they're a lot cooler than the typical frat guy. So what I did was I pretended to be something I wasn't. And then by the second night, I kind of loosened up a little bit. I met some people that I could relate to, that I could be open about what I liked and what I'm into. And it was cool because like for once, like I got to talk to people that like I really did get to know. Like I got to talk to people that like could relate to everything that I did. Like met people that played water polo. I met people that swam. And it was just such a weird experience to me because I feel like I acted like someone I wasn't. And that's not what I usually do. So, I mean, that's just an example of pretentiousness that can come from a fraternity. And we're going to go over some examples of some people that you can meet in a fraternity that do show some pretentiousness. Okay, so now we're going to talk about people in a fraternity that demonstrate sort of pretentiousness, can come off as assholes. So there's someone who we're going to call John. This is a real person. That is not his actual name, just for sake of respect, and I don't want to include his name in case you ever have him as a student. John, on the first night, was trying to act a little bit cooler than he actually is. He was trying to be the cool guy, be as cool as everyone else in the frat, when we were all kind of being ourselves and meeting each other as new people. And there was a kid that's kind of awkward, a little bit. His dad was a beta, and he's a little bit awkward. He's a little bit off. But we got to know him, and we figured out that he's putting up this front that really no one knows about. And like, he threw a punch at this guy that wasn't as awkward. It was pretty awkward, and it kind of caused a riot. And there was a lot of people that were like, "Fuck this kid!" Like, excuse my language. He needs to get dropped, and he probably should be dropped. But we haven't really gotten to know him. We're gonna give him a couple chances, and that's that. But like, what I'm trying to say is that's a good example of someone who puts up a front, because there's kids that know this kid who did not act like this in high school, and he puts up a front because he is in college and he wants to live up to this fraternity life. So yeah. And then there's another example of a kid who is drinking way more than he should every night just because he wants to be the partier, he wants to live up to that standard. And those are just a couple examples.